putting it on a brick building as opposed to putting it on a canvas doesn't necessarily mean it's not art, but I guess I interpret a canvas better than I interpret a brick wall.
Well, art means something different to everybody, and that's the great thing is, you know, in the gallery behind me, there are lots of different murals, and some people love them, some people don't. It's open to interpretation. That's the great thing about it.
Art is everywhere. Art is everywhere. I mean, if you look at that cloud formation right there, it is absolutely amazing. And you look up every day. If you don't look up, you're missing the best canvas in the world. It's there every day. It's always changing. It doesn't cost you a dime.
Art is something that is so much bigger than we will ever be, something we can never understand. It's an aesthetic that we feel inside and makes us realize we're something, we're part of something that's, like I said, bigger than we could ever understand, but we're all together within it. It makes us understand the story that is our lives, our past lives, and it also makes us realize how we sit in the future of today.
Fun. I don't really know. I'm going with colorful or not.
I say expression.
Good one. That one.
I was with a representative and we were walking Broad Street and, you know, discussing plans and what the city had planned and so forth. And I remember the representative proudly said to me, Broad Street is Richmond's window onto the world. And I just turned around and I looked at her and I just said, that is super. There's one small problem. And she said, what? I said, you need to open your draperies.
I was called by a business owner, a computer shop, ALB Tech, and he saw my work and he loved it. And what happened was he loved it so much that he asked me to do a mural in his building. And so the mural was to be an advertisement for his business, and I did it. And he loved that so much that he said, hey, I have this wall in the back. Why don't you do whatever you want on it? And to me, that was like, oh, it's awesome. I get to, like, you know, go and do whatever I want to do on the back of this building. And so I did it. And that was the beginning of that piece right there. It really just spoke about how I felt everyone was feeling at that time. Controversy in that story was that there's a bed and breakfast right behind that shop. So that shop came to the business owner of ALB Tech and said, hey, we hate this mural. Please take it down. And in my opinion, they did it in a disrespectful way. There was no conversation about it. It was just threats to be taken down. So we did a little bit of research and found out they really had no grounds to get it taken down. They were threatening to go to the city and whatnot. And so I kind of said, all right, well, I'll take it down. And I made the mural about a censorship.
It was mainly me, Michael Broth, and Hamilton Glass that kind of sat around and decided who we were going to bring in. And that was awesome because we brought in a lot of the folks that I knew from the past. And then Michael had some ideas, and same thing with Hamilton had a couple artists that he really liked that he wanted to try to get, and so it worked out really well. But for me, so if we brought in 30 artists that are kind of internationally known, I wanted to make sure we had 20 or 30 local artists too. And that's been the big difference between us and, say, the Richmond Mural Project, is that I really think there's a lot of hidden talent and a lot of talent in this city that needs to have some international talent brought in to make them kick up their game and to really start doing some great stuff.
Our definition of art gets broader and broader every day. And if people step outside of sort of a traditional definition of art, they will realize so many different outlets that are artistic. Have what's called our Culture Works Grants program championed by Altria. And that is a program that is available to nonprofit organizations that have operating budgets of $500,000 or lower. And that funding for that program comes directly from Altria, and we serve as the manager and the facilitator of that program. That process then allocates the funding based on how much funding we have and how much they've requested. We always get far and above more requests than we can fund.
Well, just like everything else in life, running a city, running a corporation, running a family takes balance. You can't give every dollar to just one silo of government. There's a balance of it, and you have to find it. The city spends a lot of money every year on James River Park. Not everybody uses it, but it's an important cultural aspect and quality of life thing. The arts are just as important. If you totaled up what the arts mean to Richmond in terms of number of jobs, how much economic impact they generate every year, they would be the equivalent of a Fortune 500 company.
A lot of that art is a partnership with people like Hands On Greater Richmond. And with Hands On, you'll grab volunteers from different corporations and you do different cleanups of different neighborhoods, and you have those volunteers help you, help the muralists paint the different murals in different places. You also have them help clean up storefronts so that you can actually put in a shop or put in a viable business in some of those areas that are just kind of dilapidated.
A lot of what Art 180 deals with is offering a chance for young people who don't have an opportunity to kind of develop a different voice for themselves. So we're not taking artists and making them better artists, or even taking kids and making them artists. We're finding young people and allowing them to develop a space for them to communicate in a safe environment and develop a different kind of voice. And a lot of it happens, we found, through art is a great tool to be able to allow young people to kind of express themselves in a way that they never would have thought before.
We found an alley in Shackle Bottom. We got some designers to donate some designs. We scraped together paint. And we thought if we have 20 people showing up over the course of a weekend, we're going to be happy. 150 people showed up without any PR, without any marketing, anything. If this is anything, there is a certain magic that happens with it. I can't explain it, but this seems to be something that people just love doing.
Where are we going with this? How much is enough? How much of the same thing is enough? Can we have some more? Can we have different kind of art other than just paint? You know? I don't know. I've seen enough to where I'm going to stick my head up and say, when's enough? And a lot of people criticize me for it. I mean, pretty strongly.
It would be great to see more community-driven art, but I don't think that there could ever be too much of it. I think art empowers creativity and inspiration, and that's one of those things where I think it affects the mentality of the people